During the early decades of the 20th century, syphilis began to develop as a major health concern. In order to discover more about the condition in African Americans compared to whites, the U.S. Public Health Service, or PHS, conducted a controversial experiment. A study of 399 syphilis-positive African American males began in 1932. The study that was set to last 6 months lasted 40 years. The men were tricked into participating in the experiment. They were told that they were receiving treatment for what the doctors called bad blood. At first, the doctors gave them low dosages of bismuth, mercury, and neoarsphenimin, which were the remedies of the day, but they soon replaced treatment with aspirin. Even when penicillin was discovered in the 1940s, the men were prevented from receiving the medication.
Some of the symptoms of syphilis are tumors, heart disease, paralysis, blindness, insanity, and death. The doctors would use deception to get the men to show up to spinal tap procedures and even got them out of the draft for World War II, which would require treatment. Even the Surgeon General of the U.S. was in on the experiment. People involved in the experiment didn't seem aware of the moral injustice. One woman in particular, a black nurse named Eunice Rivers, genuinely felt nothing ethical had been amiss. Nurse Rivers, in her own words.
We were taught that we never diagnosed. We never prescribed. We followed the doctor's instructions.
Nurse Rivers participated in the experiment for nearly all of its 40 years.
The public knew the story of the experiment for the first time in 1972 from an article written in the Washington Star. The government ended the experiment and provided all the men with treatment. Then, a class action suit was filed and provided a $10 million settlement. By the end of the experiment, 28 of the men were dead because of syphilis, 100 were dead because of complications related to the disease, 40 of the wives were infected, and 19 of their children were born with inborn syphilis. The study has been compared to the experiments performed by Nazi doctors on Jewish prisoners during World War II, but the Public Health Service continued to ignore comparisons and not accept responsibility. This experiment is infamous for being a major cause of the widespread mistrust of government and healthcare system by African Americans. The men, wives, and children have since been treated for the disease. It took until Bill Clinton's term in office for the government to issue an official apology to the families of the men. The last widow receiving treatment died on January 27, 2009.
I picture you in the sun, wondering what went wrong, and falling down on your knees, asking for sympathy, and being caught in between all you wish for and all you see, and trying to find anything you can feel that you can believe in. Maybe